LOMA High School, SCRIPPS High School, HOOVER High School, and Patrick Henry High School. Academic teams consist of a maximum of 4 cadets, which compete at the same time. Team composition must consist of a cadet from every academic class level, senior, junior, sophomore, freshman. However, if the captain so chooses, he or she can replace a cadet with one from a lower grade, i.e. a sophomore can replace a junior on the primary team. Competition rules. There is only one recorded round. There will be no practice round. The official round is the scored round. Each round will be in 3 parts. Toss-up questions, 10 points each. Give and take, 10 points each. Toss-up questions, 10 points each, followed by a 5-point bonus question, which can only be answered by a freshman without input from other team members. In the toss-up portion, all questions are from 4 academic subjects. Each question is read aloud to all teams until an individual cadet buzzes in. Once a cadet buzzes in, I will stop reading the question and the individual must answer within 5 seconds of buzzing in. The individual may discuss his or her answer with his or her teammates, but only the individual who buzzed in may answer. If time has passed without the individual beginning to answer, the answer is ruled incorrect, regardless of what he or she says after the buzzer sounds. Any other team can buzz in with an answer after a question is missed or time expires. At the beginning of the give and take portion, the moderator will read the 6 to 8 categories of questions available in the give and take round. Each category will have 2 questions in it, each a 10-point question. The team who has fewer points entering the give and take section will have the first selection. Should the teams be tied at this point, a coin flip with the team on the moderator's left calling will be used to decide who selects first. The team with this first selection will choose one of the 8 categories that they wish to take for themselves and one that they wish to give to the team with the next lowest score. The process will repeat with each team taking 1 category for themselves and giving 1 category to the team with the next lowest score. The team with the highest score will give the category to the team with the lowest score. There's no opportunity for opposing teams to steal points should a team answer incorrectly. If a team answers incorrectly, the correct answer will be given, and the next question in the category will be read if applicable. The toss-up questions with bonus round offers a team a bonus question after a team successfully answers a toss-up question. The bonus question for their freshman team member only, with no help from teammates. If a freshman misses a bonus question, other freshmen have the chance to buzz in and steal the points. Correct and incorrect answers. A correct answer to a question earns the assigned points. An incorrect toss-up answer will preclude that cadet and the rest of his or her team from answering that question again. No negative scores will ever occur. If the first answered in the order that they buzzed in, should none of those cadets get the question right, I will continue to read the toss-up question in its entirety. As I finish the question, only remaining teams may attempt to answer. If no correct answer is given by any team after 5 seconds, I will proceed to the next question. Questions may or may not be multiple choices, but will always require a verbal response from contestants. If the question is multiple choice, the answer choices will be labeled A, B, C, D, and E. The contestants are encouraged to answer with the full answer, giving the letter of the answer choice will suffice. Furthermore, if a team's answers are not specific enough or unclear, the moderator will prompt, meaning he or she will ask for a more specific answer or restatement of the answer. Contestants may use paper and pencil, but no calculators are allowed. Are there any questions? Before we start, we will go around the room to check the equipment. As I call on you, please buzz in, state your name, and your academic grade. Wait, one moment.
Finley Egan, freshman.
Adriana Mariah, freshman acting as sophomore.
Anna Wayne, junior.
Ben Mears, senior.
Sarah Smith, 11. Melissa Joe, 10.
Aiden Min, 9.
ECU.
Freshman.
Cadet Sergeant Trent Jackson, sophomore.
Cadet Sergeant First Class Shanna Lee, sophomore acting as junior.
Cadet Command Sergeant Major Haji Fisher, junior acting as senior.
Ethan Cole, freshman. Carson Timmons, sophomore. Jonathan Ag, junior.
Ethan Jensen, senior.
Okay, Scripps Ranch, can you make sure that freshmen go through?
We will now begin the official round. This round is the official scoring used in the final competition. Part 1, the toss-up portion, will now consist of questions worth 10 points each. Remember, do not shout out the answer. Buzz in and wait to be called upon. Question 1. A common system for classifying this pattern was modified by Glenn Tremorpa in a way that, among other things, changes the way the highlands are handled. That system for classifying this pattern, which uses capital letter groups and lowercase letter subgroups that include Mediterranean and Marine West Coast, is named for Vladimir Koppin. The overall change in this pattern is studied by a group set up by the UN called the IPCC, which has stated that this pattern is changing due to human actions. For 10 points, name this term referring to the long-term weather patterns in an area. Quick moment.
Climate.
That is correct. Question 2. One word in this city shows the white skin of St. Bartholomew and a beardless Christ looking down upon caring, bearing the souls of the damned. This city's stanze della Senatura includes a painting showing Plato walking next to Aristotle. Script French.
Rome.
That is incorrect. Includes a painting showing Plato walking next to Aristotle and is found in the Apostolic Palace. One church here shows God giving life to Adam on its ceiling. For 10 points, name this. Hoover. That is incorrect. For 10 points.
Oh no.
One moment.
Athens.
That is incorrect. For 10 points, name the city where Raphael's School of Athens can be found, as well as the Last Judgment and Michelangelo's paintings on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Keys.
Good.
Athens.
That is incorrect. The correct answer was Vatican City.
You already said.
Question 3. The negotiations involved in this agreement provided precedent for the concept of implied powers. The primary boundaries within this agreement were settled in the Adams-Onis Treaty. The Indian Scripps Ranch.
The occupation of Florida.
That is incorrect. The primary boundaries within this agreement were settled in the Adams-Onis Treaty. The Indiana Territory temporarily governed most of the territory gained in this 1803 agreement. Patrick Henry.
Northwestern Treaty.
That is incorrect.
LOMA.
Quick moment.
Louisiana Purchase.
That is correct. Question 4. The sum of the non-negative powers of this reciprocal of this value equals this value. This value equals the vertices minus edges plus bases of a polyhedron, making it the Euler characteristic. False negatives are classified as a type error of this value. This is the greatest value that gives the same result when it is added to itself as it does when it is multiplied by itself. For 10 points, identify this least prime number. Scripps Ranch.
2.
That is correct.
Reset. Reset. Reset.
Question 5. The application of laws developed by this scientist sometimes depends on the creation of imaginary surfaces named for him. This person's name is often used for the general system of CGS units, and his name is used specifically for the CGS unit of magnetic flux density, which is the smaller version of the Tesla. One of this person's laws states that the divergence of a magnetic field is zero. How'd you read?
Coulomb?
That is incorrect. One of this person's laws states that the divergence of a magnetic field is zero, while another relates electric field divergence to charge density. Those two equations are part of Maxwell's script trench.
Kirchhoff.
That is incorrect. Those two equations are parts of Maxwell's equations. For 10 points, name this scientist who is also the namesake of the normal curve or bell curve. Point LOMA.
Westinghouse.
That is incorrect. Question 6. This
Give me the answer.
oh,
Go ahead.
Nobody got it.
oh, the answer. The answer was Carl Friedrich Gauss. Question 6. This collection features a story in which a man, his slave, and a widow were all nearly executed on account of a stolen apple. Translated into French by Antoine Galland and English by Richard Burton, it opens with 3 sheikhs collaborating to spare the life of a merchant who had accidentally killed the son of a jinn. For 10 points, name this collection of tales told to King Shahryar. Script trench.
1001 Nights.
That is correct. Question 7. The diagram demonstrating Desargues' theorem includes this many lines and this many 3-line intersections. The probability of getting a sum equal to this number with a roll of 2 standard dice equals the probability of getting a sum of 4, which is 1/12. This value is Patrick Henry.
10.
That is correct. Question 8. After Ulrich Snyder passed this threshold in 2013 using potassium, he suggested that his studies could explain dark energy. Fermi energy is defined at this condition, and this value holds for all quantum critical points. Walter Nernst stated that this condition could not be reached in a finite number of steps. There is no entropy in a perfect crystal at this condition according to the third law of thermodynamics. For 10 points, name this condition that exists at approximately negative 460 degrees. Point moment.
Absolute zero.
That is correct. Question 9. This genus includes the extinct Lepophagus species that ate rabbits and the deer species that became extinct after humans arrived in America. This genus has a rufous species that has a reddish color and almost became extinct before being reintroduced in the Great Smoky Mountains. The best known examples are in the lupus species, including the Australian predators from Southeast Asia, commonly called dingoes. For 10 points, name this breed. Point moment.
K9.
That is correct. Question 10. One test of these numbers is named for the infinite monkey theorem, while another is named for the birthday paradox. 19,937 is often used in the Mersenne twister, which is commonly used to create these numbers, as is the thermomois and resistors. These numbers are associated with their namesake walks, which are based on an object moving 1 unit for each step, but not consistently in the same direction. For 10 points, identify these numbers that can consist of a long string of independent digits. Good French.
Sequence.
That is incorrect. Patrick Henry.
Irrational?
Incorrect.
You said.
Hoover.
Finite numbers?
Incorrect. This person hired Scaptius to enforce the terms of a loan he made with the city of Salamis. He caused a scandal when he could not provide a valid reason for divorcing his first wife, Claudia. Captured at the Battle of Barsabas, shortly thereafter, he was named governor of Cisalpine Gaul. This person had Strato hold a sword as he committed suicide after a second loss at Philippi to Octavian. For 10 points, Script Trench.
Mark Antony.
Correct.
Incorrect.
Patrick
Patrick Henry.
Julius Caesar.
Incorrect.
Reset.
Point LOMA.
Brutus.
Correct.
Sorry.
This family of particles includes some that interact only via the weak nuclear force and gravity, making them notoriously difficult to detect. Members of this group are not affected by the strong nuclear force, and each has a corresponding antiparticle. They include particles with electric charge -1, such as the muon and tau, as well as neutral particles that come in 3 flavors. The most familiar members, Script Trench.
Quark.
Incorrect.
Patrick Henry.
Patrick Henry.
Patrick Henry. Incorrect. The most familiar member of this family is the electron. For 10 points, name this class of fundamental particles that, along with quarks, make up all matter.
Buzz.
Okay.
Point
You
LOMA.
said it, you said it.
I'm still trying to buzz.
Sorry.
Point LOMA.
Gluon.
Incorrect. Hoover.
Adams.
Incorrect. The correct answer was leptons. Question 13. This element was the primary fuel in space shuttle solid rocket boosters. This metal exists in cryolite, which is used to isolate it. This element is the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust, where it coexists with silicon and oxygen in all feldspars. This element, Patrick Henry.
Nickel.
Incorrect. This element,
Hoover.
oh, Hoover.
Mercury.
Incorrect. This element is isolated by a combination of the Mayer process and the Hall-Héroult process. There is a scientific controversy as to whether this element increases the risk of Alzheimer's disease. This element is found in bauxite and is the namesake of the company Alcoa. For 10 points, name this lightweight metal that replaced tin as the most common one used to make oil. Skip change.
Aluminum.
Correct. Question 14. This poet wrote about a deluge of new woes overwhelming the glories of thy ever-famous realm in a dialogue between old England and you. In one poem by this author, the narrator prays that the heavens reward manifold the titles dedicate to you. This author wrote of love that rivers cannot quench, and that is prized more than whole mines of gold, in To My Dear and Lovely Husband. For 10 points, name this colonial poet, colloquially referred to as the 10th Muse. Skip change.
Browning.
Sorry.
Elizabeth Barrett Browning.
Incorrect.
Reset. 5 seconds. That's it.
The correct answer was Anne Bradstreet. Question 15. Sierpinski numbers of the second kind are used to generate an infinite number of these integers, and a subset of these integers is Spivak numbers. Fermat layers and Carmichael numbers are this type of number, even though they satisfy Fermat's little theorem. Numbers classified as highly this type of number have more divisors than any number less than themselves. The fundamental theorem of arithmetic states that these numbers can be factored using numbers not in this category. These numbers have proper factors besides 1. For 10 points, name these numbers that are not prime.
Composite.
Who's buzzing?
Because you didn't get the time, so it's a good finish.
Composite. I
Correct.
think it was argon.
Composite is correct.
5.
Yeah, reset.
Question 16. This leader's wife sought financial support from Pope Pius IX, but suffered from paranoia when he refused to see her. This leader's wife was also the namesake of the largest part of New Virginia colony, which housed former Confederate soldiers. Scripps Ranch.
George III.
Incorrect. This person was defeated at Gannett Battle by Benito Suarez. For 10 points, name this brother of Franz Joseph Hoover.
Edgar Maximilian.
That's correct.
All right, hey, everybody know, if your buzz is not working, you need to say buzz, okay? If it's not working, so make sure that everybody hears it.
The toss-up portion is now complete. We will now move into the second portion of the competition. Part 2, the give and take portion. Selection of categories will be given based on team points. Hoover and Patrick Henry have the best of points of all teams and gets first choice after a They will be followed by Hoover, Scripps, and Point Loma. You have the categories of
Yeah, write it down.
biology,
Write it down.
U.S. literature, statistics, geometry, chemistry, algebra, psychology, and physics.
So, Hoover and Patrick Henry are tied, right? Okay, team captain Patrick Henry. We're gonna flip a coin, okay? Call it in the air, we'll see who goes first. Go. Tails.
Yes.
Take it first. No, Patrick Henry.
Choose which category you wish to take and which category you wish to give to the other teams. 2 questions worth 10 points will be asked in each category. Other teams are not allowed to butt in.
You gotta pick first.
Patrick Henry.
What is it? Biology and US literature.
Yes, literature is for Hoover.
Hoover.
We will be taking physics and giving psychology.
Scripps.
Psychology, Scripps.
Yes, Scripps.
We will be taking geometry and giving chemistry.
And Point Loma.
You will be giving statistics and keeping the last one.
Anything else except statistics?
Patrick Henry. Got Patrick Henry.
There you go.
Yep, there you go. Yeah, the Patrick Henry.
Go, Patrick Henry,
Yep. All right, go ahead.
We'll be start with Patrick.
Yeah.
Your first category is biology. Question 1. This structure contains only 19 ancestral genes. Unlike its counterpart, it does not recombine over most of its length during meiosis. Found only in individuals with certain sex chromosome combinations, it is passed directly from father to son. For 10 points, name this chromosome that determines male biological characteristics in humans. Patrick Henry?
Y.
Correct. Question 2. Despite its small number of ancestral genes, the Y chromosome is very helpful when tracing male ancestors, because most of it does not go through this process during meiosis. That includes crossing over. For 10 points, name this process that shuffles alleles to produce new genetic variations. Patrick Henry?
Recombination.
Correct. Next category is statistics. Question 1. This is the value that appears most frequently within a set of data, representing the observation with the greatest occurrence. In graphical terms, it corresponds to the tallest bar, or peak, on a histogram. For 10 points, name this measure of central tendency that indicates the most common value in a data set. Patrick Henry?
Mode.
Correct. Question 2. This type of distribution occurs when a data set contains two distinct peaks or clusters of values rather than one. Such a pattern can indicate that the data comes from two different groups or underlying processes. For example, the heights of both adult men and women in a population. On a histogram, it appears as having two local maxima instead of a single one. For 10 points, name this type of distribution characterized by two modes. Patrick Henry?
Bimodal.
Correct. Now on to Hoover, your first category is literature. Question 1. This work follows the adventures of a young boy who fakes his own death and travels down the Mississippi River with an escaped slave. It is considered a classic of American literature and a critique of racism in society. For 10 points, name this picaresque novel by Mark Twain. Hoover?
The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
Correct. Question 2. This person wrote poetry, essays, and plays celebrating African American culture and identity. His works often explored themes of racial pride, resilience, and the struggles of Black life in early 20th century America. Collections such as The Weary Blues and Montage of a Dream Deferred showcase his use of jazz rhythms and vernacular speech. For 10 points, name this poet who is a central figure of the Harlem Renaissance. The answer was Langston Hughes. Now on to physics. Question 1. According to Newton's second law, this vector quantity is calculated by dividing the net force acting on an object by its mass. It can be positive, negative, or change direction, depending on the forces involved. For 10 points, name this quantity that measures the rate at which an object's velocity changes over time. Hoover?
Acceleration.
Correct. Question 2. This vector quantity describes the motion of an object and is calculated as the product of an object's mass and velocity. It is conserved in isolated systems during collisions and can change only if acted upon by an external force. For 10 points, name this fundamental concept in mechanics. Hoover?
Momentum.
Correct. Now on to SCRIPPS ranch. Your first category is psychology. This chronic mental disorder is characterized by symptoms such as hallucinations, delusions, disorganized thinking, and social withdrawal. While its exact cause is unknown, it is associated with dopamine dysregulation in the brain and often requires long-term treatment with antipsychotic medications. For 10 points, name the psychiatric disorder that affects about 1% of the population. Scripps?
Schizophrenia.
Correct. Question 2. This disorder has a strong heritable component and is associated with atypical neural connectivity and differences in synaptic signaling. It involves persistent deficits in social communication and interaction, along with restricted repetitive behaviors. For 10 points, name this neurodevelopmental condition classified as a spectrum disorder, often abbreviated as ASD. Scripps?
Autism.
Correct. Next category is geometry. Question 1. This three-dimensional geometric solid has two congruent parallel faces connected by rectangular or parallelogram-shaped sides. The cross-section of this solid remains the same along its entire length, and its volume can be found by multiplying the area of its base by its height. Common examples include rectangular and triangular types. For 10 points, name this polyhedron, whose name is also used for a transparent object that disperses light into a spectrum. Scripps?
Prism.
Correct. Question 2. This figure is formed by taking the region between two concentric circles. Its area can be found by subtracting the area of the smaller circle from the area of the larger one. For 10 points, name this ring-shaped region, whose name comes from the Latin word for little ring. The correct answer was endless. Now on to point 1. Your first category is chemistry. Question 1. This element makes up about 78% of the Earth's atmosphere by volume and is a key component of amino acids, proteins, and nucleic acids. It is relatively inert as a diatomic gas under standard conditions, but can form compounds such as ammonia and nitric acid. For 10 points, name this element with atomic number 7.
Nitrogen.
Correct. Question 2. These organic compounds consist entirely of carbon and hydrogen atoms and can be classified into types such as alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes. They are the primary components of fuels like gasoline and natural gas and can undergo reactions such as combustion and substitution. For 10 points, name this class of molecules. 1 moment.
Hydrocarbons.
Correct. Next category is algebra. Question 1. This property does not hold for matrix multiplication. For 10 points, name this property, which states that x times y equals y times x. 1 moment.
Commutative property.
Correct. Question 2. This is a 10-second math question. There are two matrices that are each 2 by 2. One matrix has 5s in the top row and 0s in the bottom row. The other matrix has 5s in the left column and 0s in the right column. For 10 points, if you multiply the matrices in the two orders possible, what is the difference between the result you get in the top row, left column, and the two answers?
Are you going?
1 moment.
15.
Incorrect. The correct answer was 25. The give and take portion is now complete. We will now move into the final portion of the competition. Part 3. In this phase, a toss-up question worth 10 points will be asked. Any team can respond, and if answered correctly, a bonus question worth 5 points will follow for freshman team members only. Remember, other freshmen can buzz in if bonus questions are missed or time expires to steal the points. Good luck. Question 1. This region of the atmosphere undergoes a quasi-biennial oscillation that includes its sudden warming. This region includes the Yucca layer, which contains a significant amount of sulfuric acid and is sometimes referred to as the aerosol layer. This region experiences very little convection which is why chemicals that enter this region tend to stay there. This region exists just above the tropopause. Point Lola?
Stratosphere.
Correct. Freshman bonus question. For 5 additional points, what gas concentrated in the stratosphere absorbs most of the sun's ultraviolet radiation? Point Lola?
Ozone.
Correct. Question 2. Following allegations that this company paid for information regarding the United Food and Commercial Workers Union, CEO Tom Coughlin was forced to resign. In 2012, the UFCW also organized strikes regarding this company's employees working on Thanksgiving Day. Its effect on local mom and pop stores was outlined in the documentary The High Cost of Low Price. It is headquartered in Bentonville, Arkansas. Patrick Henry?
Walmart.
Correct. Freshman bonus question. For five additional points, which membership-only retail warehouse is owned and operated by Walmart? Patrick Henry?
Walmart.
Incorrect.
Point Loma.
Point
Hoover, Hoover.
Oh, Hoover?
Sam's Club.
Correct. Question 3. One of this leader's major actions was an attack against the Monkey tribe, and his actions were sparked by an attack by the Doan tribe. John Ingram replaced this person after his death, but his followers were quickly defeated and hanged. This resident of Henrico County became the rival of William Barclay, who was the governor of Virginia. For 10 points, name this leader whose troops burned down Jamestown during his namesake 1676 rebellion. Script change. Correct. Freshman bonus question. For 5 additional points, which disease, known for its symptoms of bloody diarrhea, abdominal pain, and fever, caused Bacon's death? Scripps?
Yellow fever.
Incorrect.
Reset. No, reset, you gotta reset then.
Hoover?
Cholera.
No,
Incorrect.
that, no.
Point Lola?
Who's-
Dysentery.
Correct.
Can we check their buzzers?
They should work
I
fine.
think the other teams are buzzing before
Before-
the timer
I was
is.
gonna say, is
That's
that
okay, they can bust before time.
Yeah, are you buzzing right now? I feel like before, they get 5 seconds to answer if their team won the question before, but other teams are buzzing in before the.
Yeah, you can't buzz in on a freshman question until it's missed and the clock's reset. You can't buzz in simultaneously, you be the second person.
Question 4. One of this author's stories sees musicians promise noble titles proclaim their best before the teenager who made the offer was shot by dynamo flammers. This author created a polymorph that melted at 46 degrees Celsius but acted as a seed crystal below it. That product, Ice 9, ends up destroying the world in Cat's Cradle. Scripps?
Kurt Vonnegut.
Correct. Freshman bonus question. For 5 additional points, Vonnegut became a prisoner of war during which global conflict? Scripps?
The Cold War.
Reset.
Incorrect.
5 seconds. Can't discuss the question.
The correct answer was World War II. Question 5. The Verdict constant measures the strength of the effect made for this person in a given material. That effect consists of the rotation of polarized light in a magnetic field. The waves on the surface of a vibrating fluid are also made for this person. The law made for this person states that the curl of an electric field equals the opposite of the time derivative of a magnetic field, and the negative sign of that equation represents Lenz's law. That law summarizes Scripps.
De Broglie?
Sorry?
De Broglie?
Incorrect. That law summarizes this person's discovery of induction. For 10 points, identify this person whose name is shortened to give the SI unit of capacitance. Patrick Henry? Incorrect. Incorrect. One moment.
Calm singular.
Incorrect. The correct answer was Michael Faraday. Question 6. This person established the Marseilles Training Center when he was an instructor for the Illinois National Guard during the 1930s. Earlier, he helped John Pershing plan the Meuse-Argonne offensive. This person headed a mission to China to prevent civil war after World War II, but he was unsuccessful. That mission followed his work as Army Chief of Staff during World War II. This person... Scripps?
Eisenhower?
Sorry?
Eisenhower?
Incorrect. This person gave a speech at Harvard after he became Secretary of State in 1947, outlining a plan of foreign aid. For 10 points, identify this namesake of the European Recovery Program. Patrick Henry?
Marshall.
Correct. Freshman bonus question. For 5 additional points, after serving as Secretary of State under Truman, which cabinet position did Marshall then hold? Patrick Henry?
Cold War.
Incorrect. Oh, Scripps?
Secretary of the Treasury.
Incorrect. One moment.
Vice President?
Incorrect. Hoover?
Secretary of Defense.
Correct. Question 7. A new example of this phenomenon was caused in 2014 by an object called 209P linear. That phenomenon occurred in the direction of a constellation known as the Giraffe or Camelopardalis. These events are named for the constellation they appear to be located in, and these events are generally caused by comet dust in the path of Earth's orbit. For 10 points, one moment.
Meteorite shower.
Correct. Freshman bonus question. For 5 additional points, meteors that survive passing through Earth's atmosphere and hit the ground are called what? One moment.
Meteorite.
Meteorite?
Yes.
That is correct. Question 8. When this value depends on conditions, a rheometer is used to measure it. One equation multiplies this quantity by 6 pi times radius times velocity to find frictional force. The kinematic type of this quantity is found by dividing the dynamic type by density. This quantity equals shear stress divided by velocity gradient. Formula?
Surface area.
Incorrect. The product of density, velocity, and diameter is divided by this quantity to calculate the Reynolds number, which is then used to differentiate between laminar and turbulent flow. For 10 points, in this quantity measured in poise that gives a fluid's resistance to flow. Scripps?
Viscosity?
Correct. Freshman bonus question. For 5 additional points, ketchup, paint, and slime are examples of what type of fluid that does not follow Newton's law of viscosity. Scripps?
Blood.
Incorrect. Hoover?
Nonitonian.
Correct. Question 9. This person wrote, "My country is the world and my religion is to do good," in a book that was critical of Edmund Burke. This person also designed an inheritance tax that could be used to fund a national pension in his book Agrarian Justice. In addition to Rights of Man, he wrote a book that begins, "These are the times that try men's souls." That word, Scripps?
Thomas Paine?
Correct. Freshman bonus question. For 5 additional points, Paine once published a letter in 1796 that denounced which U.S. president as an incompetent general and a hypocrite? Scripps?
John Adams.
Incorrect. correct answer was George Washington. Question 10. This event was followed by an interrogation by Sir William Wade. Planned at Ashby St. Ledger's, its instigators tried to hold out at Holbeck House. During it, John Grant was to kidnap Princess Elizabeth. It is alleged that Francis Tresham penned the letter to Lord Monteagle that led to its discovery. For 10 points in this failed attempt to kill James I of England, who was
Pass.
Scripps.
Gunpowder plot.
Correct. Freshman bonus question. For 5 additional points, the gunpowder plot targeted which building in London? Scripps.
Buckingham Palace.
Incorrect. Patrick Henry.
The Parliament.
Correct. Question 11. One example of this type of star is orbited by Zarmina, which was the first extrasolar planet located in a star's habitable zone. That star is Gliese 581. Many stars of this type are believed to have lifespans of trillions of years, which means that examples created soon after the Big Bang are still around, and it is believed that they will become white dwarfs. These stars are also believed to be Patrick Henry.
Brown dwarf.
Incorrect. And one example is Proxima Centauri. Hoover.
A giant.
Incorrect. One more.
Blue.
Incorrect. For 10 points, name these stars that are smaller and cooler than our sun. Scripps.
Red dwarf.
Correct. Freshman bonus question. For 5 additional points, what type of star is our sun? Scripps.
S.
Incorrect. Patrick Henry.
Red dwarf.
Sorry.
Red dwarf.
Incorrect. The correct answer was yellow dwarf. Question 12. This is a 10-second math question. For 10 points, find the area of the parallelogram if its two sides are of length 5 and 6, and its internal angles each have a sine of 1/3. Hoover? Correct. Freshman bonus question. This is a 10-second math question. For 5 additional points, find the area of a triangle if its base is 13 units and its height is 6 units.
Can't discuss it over there.
Plus.
Oh, they ran out of time, okay, that's good.
Scripps?
39.
Correct. Question 13. Prior to this battle, a fake escape was staged for the prisoner John Honeyman. Many enemy fighters were able to escape across a Supping Creek because American troops under James Ewing and John Cadwalader did not show. The head of those enemy fighters, who was killed by a musket ball while retreating, was Johann Rall. This battle took place just after Christmas 1776 and was targeted at Hessians. For a moment.
Answer.
Yorktown.
Incorrect. Scripps?
Battle of Trenton.
Correct. Freshman bonus question. For 5 additional points, which battles marked the start of the American Revolutionary War and gave birth to the phrase, the shot heard around the world? Scripps?
That was the Lexington and Concord.
Correct. Question 14. This function is defined on the unit circle as the y-coordinate of a point corresponding to a given angle. Formula?
Sine function.
Correct. Question below this question. For 5 additional points, name the reciprocal of cosine. Hoover?
Cotangent?
Incorrect. Scripps?
Inverse cosine?
Incorrect. Patrick Henry?
Parabola?
Incorrect. The correct answer was secant. Question 15. This leader surrendered Armenia and Mesopotamia, re-establishing the Euphrates as the limit of the Roman Empire. Nicknamed Gregulus as a youth, this person dedicated a number of Greek sites to Antigonus. He ordered public burnings of the Torah and outlawed Judaism, following the Bar Kokhba revolt. The successor to Trajan, for 10 points, named this Roman emperor who ordered the northern border of the Scripps.
Hadrian.
Correct. Freshman bonus question. For 5 additional points, Hadrian rebuilt which famous Roman temple that was originally dedicated to all Roman gods? Scripps.
Pantheon?
Correct. Question 16. This leader's decision to start the siege of Fort Hudson early did not work well for his ships or supporting troops led by Nathaniel Ames. This person and his brother, by adoption David Porter, were the first 2 4-star admirals in the U.S. Navy. Patrick Henry.
Faraday.
Correct. Freshman bonus question. For 5 additional points, Farragut helped capture which major southern port city in 1862, giving the Union control of the Mississippi River? Patrick Henry.
Louisiana?
Incorrect. Scripps.
New Orleans?
Correct. Competition is now completed. In 4th place, we have HOOVER High School with 65 points. In 3rd place, we have Patrick Henry with 85 points. In 2nd place, we have Point LOMA with 135 points. And in 1st place, we have SCRIPPS Ranch with 170 points.
First place, Scripps Ranch, please come up.
No, present, take the awards to them. Take the awards to the cameras facing that way.
That's okay, just take it to them.
You took a picture with them? No. You took a picture with them?
Pretend like you like each other.
Take a picture with them.
They do like each other, sir.
Go in front. Go ahead, Commander.
All right.
Commander. You help me.
Hey, I don't get a...
It's okay.